of numericals of gas laws. So we have done the practice of gas laws numericals. So let's begin with the first lesson. Actually, this lesson is the easiest lesson. uh, First, some basic concepts of chemistry. I think my all board students has done this lesson in school level. We are talking about mole concept. This lesson, actually ha lesson me ka late karte, I don't know, but it is the easiest lesson. So shall we begin? Ishan, Kanika, Omkar, Varun, Meher
Oh, ma'am.
Prasad,
Oh,
shall we?
yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
please, yeah, please, यशला पण सांग, याला ओमकार पण माझ्याशी बोलत नाही. I hope you all are there physically also. So let's begin. Some basic concepts of chemistry. If you open your textbook one, this lesson is actually nothing. This lesson, I don't think so I should taught to my 11th standard student, because something we have already done in our school level. But let me brush up the thing and then we will proceed with the lesson. So the lesson is too easy. Some basic concepts of chemistry. If you open your book this year, in this COVID year, they have deleted half of the lesson. But let's see the lessons like in detail way. See, this is the first lesson. So we are going to learn some basic concepts which we use in chemistry. So in chemistry, what are the basic concepts which we use? The first concept is matter. Can perceive through our senses, anything which we can see, touch, smell, that we call as matter. So every matter is it's mainly used for the non-living thing. So every matter is made up of a tiny particles which we call as atoms and molecules. Correct? And in terms of the biology, this matter in terms of it's called as an organism, and the smallest structural and the functional unit of that organism is we call as cell. So, in basic concepts of chemistry, we are going to learn certain basic understanding words which we have already learned, like what is matter. Matter is something which we can perceive through our senses. Then matter has got mass, volume. So we are going to learn some physical quantities like mass, volume, temperature which we use. In this, if you look at the chart, now this part is completely deleted, but to have an understanding, a relationship, what we are going to learn this lesson, my first page has been completely deleted from this year. And if you, I don't think so I should explain this to my 11th standard student, but if you have the textbook in front of you, I'm right now talking about that chart of matter. See, the matter is divided into pure substances and mixtures. So what do you mean by pure substances? So the pure substances, if I divide matter in terms of physical properties, the matter is divided. What I mean by saying physical properties meant the change in physical state, like the state is changing. So my matter in terms of the differentiation in terms of the physical properties is solid, liquid and gas. So my matter differentiated in terms of the physical solid, liquid and gas. So that we have learned in the previous lesson, we have learned about gases. We don't have liquids this year, and next year we are going to learn about solids, different forms of solid. Now the second classification of matter, which is based on the chemical properties of matter, is when I said the differentiation in terms of the chemical property, I mean to say the chemical changes. So whenever the chemical changes takes place, when the composition of that matter is changing, depending upon the composition of that matter, I can divide matter into two components, pure substance and mixture. Now, what I mean by pure substances, that means the smallest particle of that matter, the atoms are of one kind, or the so one subdivision of that pure substance, which we call as elements. So what are elements? Elements are naturally, we have learned the periodic table and we know that there are 120 elements, 120 plus elements exist in nature. So what are elements? See, elements is that part of the pure substances matter which exist, which we get naturally. We cannot obtain them. We completely depend on nature to form that. So they are naturally occurring, and all of them consist of only one type of atom. That means if I'm talking about iron, means all the iron is made up of atoms and molecules of iron, and all will show that magnetic property. Or if I'm talking about the element oxygen, it means that all the atoms or the molecules of that oxygen are supporter of combustion. That stands the purity of that matter, that they are elements, a subtype of the pure substances, where that atoms and molecules are of one type, only one kind. Now, elements further divided into metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So we know metals, we have seen the differences in terms of the metals and non-metals in our school level, in terms of the physical property, what I can say about the differences, what I can say about the chemical property difference. So for me, the metals are the one which are in solid state except mercury and gallium, and most of the non-metals exist. They exist in all the three states. Solid non-metal are carbon, liquid non-metal is bromine, and gaseous non-metals are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Metals are hard, malleable, ductile. Non-metals are not hard, they are non-malleable, they are non-ductile except diamond, which is the hardest substance which is found on the earth. Then we know that the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity because they possess free electrons, and that free electrons, which the crystal lattice of that metal, are responsible for transmission of heat and electricity. Non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity except graphite. Even though the graphite mother element is carbon, it is a good conductor because out of the 4 bonds, one of the carbon-carbon bond is slippery, making available of free electrons. So ये तो हो गया school level का. फिर we have seen that generally metals are the one which are having less than 4 electrons in their outermost shell. So they tend to donate electron to complete their octet or to have the stable electronic configuration. Metal form positive ions. So whatever the compounds are formed by the metals, all are by the ionic bond. Wherever when I'm talking about the non-metals, they are having 4 or more than 4 electrons in their outermost shell. They tend to accept electron, thereby ion, and when they form compounds with the metal by ionic bond, and the non-metals can form the compound with the other non-metal by sharing the electron, that is by covalent bond. So this is very easy. Metalloids are those elements which are also naturally occurring, which possess both the properties of metals and non-metals. That's why they are called as metalloids. Generally, they have 4 electrons in their outermost shell. For example, silicon, germanium, antimony, and arsenic. I think this is too easy to understand. Meher Prasad, Ishan, Kanika, Omkar, Varun. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Samajhta hai? Hello everyone, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, ma'am.
Easy आहे ना हा पार्ट. सो हा पार्ट आपण आधी बघितलेला होता. सो प्युअर सबस्टन्सेसचा एक सबटाइप बघितला जो आहे एलिमेंट्स. बट compounds also comes in the of matter. Now, why we call compound as a pure substances? Even though compounds are made up of more than one element in their composition, we are calling them pure substances. What stands for the purity of the compound? That even though they contain more than one element in their composition, water is a compound, sodium chloride is a compound containing sodium and chlorine. Why we call them as a pure substances? Because whatever the constituent element which are present in their formula or structure, it's in fixed ratio. 1 atom of sodium, 1 atom of chlorine. So whatever the constituent elements are present in the fixed ratio, and that stands the purity of that compound. So compound, even though they contain more than one type of element, they are in fixed proportion. So then we have learned the properties of compounds also. The properties of the compounds are their elements are in fixed proportion. The properties of the compound are totally different from the properties of its constituent element. Like sodium chloride, it's highly essential for our body, but that sodium and chlorine is poisonous. Same applicable for water. which we have learned in our 9th grade, I suppose. So compounds तो समझ में आए, elements समझ में आए, we understand that's a pure substances. Now what are mixtures? See, mixtures are the one which contains more than one element, but the difference between compound and mixture is that in compounds these elements are in fixed proportion, whereas in mixtures they are in any variable proportion. Simplest example, bhel. So the mixtures, the properties of the constituent element are retained. You can separate them by any physical methods. So these are mixtures. So depending upon the mixture, homogeneous, heterogeneous. So what is homogeneous mixture? We have done suspension and colloid. So we know that salt in water, sugar in water, where the proportion of the solute particles are too small to be seen with the naked eye. They are in less than 1 picometer. And they cannot show the Tyndall effect. They do not show the scattering of light, so we cannot see them with the naked eye. They are stable. So depending upon that, we have seen what is solubility, what is saturated solution, what is dilute unsaturated solution, what is supersaturated solution. So everything we have seen. Heterogeneous mixture, those mixture where they are not that stable. The heterogeneous mixture are further divided into suspension and colloids. So what is suspension? You can see the size of the particle as too big, like sand in water, oil in water is a suspension, where you can see the solute particles with the naked eye, and you can easily separate them by any physical method. Colloids appears to be a homogeneous mixture. Milk is a colloid, blood is a colloid, egg white is a colloid, ink is a colloid. So it appears to be a homogeneous mixture, but it is actually a heterogeneous mixture because the size of the particle is little higher than that of the true solution, which is my homogeneous mixture. They show Tyndall effect, scattering of light. Okay, so something we have learned in the colloids wala part, that is heterogeneous mixture. So basically, या पहिला पानाचा यावर्षी डिलीट केलेला पार्ट आहे ना. या 11th स्टँडर्ड पे आपको पूछेगे, neither it is related with the 12th स्टँडर्ड. सो इट इज अ बेसिक कन्सेप्ट. सो मी केमिस्ट्री करताना आपलं काय झालं, आपण थोडेसे हायर डिफिकल्टी लेसन्स आधी घेतल्यामुळे ना मला हे लेसन्स खूप चिल्लर वाटतात. व्हॉट यू थिंक? अग्री विथ मी? These lessons are too easy to understand. It is not going to take our much time because we have done in detail about that structure of atom. Periodic table आहे किंवा जो कन्सेप्ट आहे ग्रुप 1 आपण थोडे जास्त डिटेल मध्ये केलेला आहे. सो दॅट इज समथिंग विच इज थोडे ज्या गोष्टी कळायला वेळ लागतो ना त्या असतात. हे लेसन्स आहेत ना, हे इझी लेसन्स आहेत. सो मला पहिलं पेज आय सपोज माझ्या स्टुडंट्सना नीट सगळ्यांना कळतं. सो आय मूव विथ द सेकंड पेज. मी बोर नाही करत. मी तो स्पीड पण मेंटेन करते. आय सपोज की वॉट एव्हर इफ आय लुक एट द टेक्स्टबुक पेज नंबर 1, whatever is given in my textbook, it's absolutely, I can relate to it. I know the concept very well. Varun, Kanika, Omkar, Meher Prasad, do you understand this part? Shall I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Omkar, Meher Prasad, Kanika. So if you are not, if you cannot say something, just give me in chat section. मला सगळ्यांचं पार्टिसिपेशन पाहिजे, मला कळायला पाहिजे कळतंय की नाही. या सो कनिका मैं जाऊँ आगे. वेरी गुड. So without wasting, let's move on. So let's move on. So मुझे basic concept में ये तो मैंने school level पे ही पढ़ा है. If I may move on my page, so they have just given me the metals, like even in the 7th, everything is deleted. ये सब part मेरा deleted है this year. So I know metal, non-metal, metalloids पता है मुझे, compounds पता है. वो तो like that we know everything. Like classify the following elements in compounds. Like मला विचारायची गरज नाही because my students are smart to understand the question कि what is element, what is compound, ये तो मुझे पता है. So properties of matter and their measurement. Now see properties of matter. See what is given in our textbook in our properties of matter. Different kind of matter has got different properties. So I can define, like I can relate them in the physical properties and the chemical properties. So for me, any physical properties of matter means I'm going to discuss about the matter in terms of the physical changes. Physical properties मध्ये काय काय येतं? Physical property मध्ये whether it's a solid, liquid or gas. Physical property मध्ये त्याचा volume येतो, density येते, melting point येतो, boiling point येतो, solubility येते. या सगळ्या गोष्टी त्या मॅटरला मी physical property म्हणते. When I'm talking about the chemical properties, I'm talking about the chemical changes. I'm talking about the compounds from that element. So properties of matter are further divided into physical and the chemical properties. So agreed ye wala part. For example, we have done it in so many times now. Ki burning of candle explain what type of change it is. So we always used to write down that the burning of candle is physical as well as chemical change, because that wax which is in solid state, by burning it melts, so it is a physical change. And why it is a chemical change? Because by burning, that carbon of that wax combines with the oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So it's a chemical change also, but because always a chemical change leads with the formation of a new substance. So third page, shall I?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to read it, I'll just wait for a minute for to complete the second page. मी नाही एक्सप्लेन करते because this is, I don't think so मी तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना स्कूल लेवलला शिकवलेलं आहे. सो मी तुम्हाला शिकवलेलं आहे, सो मला माहिती आहे की तुम्हाला किती येते आणि किती नाही येते ते. अग्री ईशान, कनिका, ओमकार, मेहर प्रसाद?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I move to the third page? Can I move to the third page? So yeah, roughly मुझे पता चल गया. पहले page में we have just seen the matter and the classification of matter. In my second page, we have just done detailing work about that pure substances, what are elements, what are compounds. The pure substances may be elements, may metal, non-metals, and metalloids. Then we talk about the properties of matter, which into physical properties of matter, chemical properties of matter. For me, measurement of property. So whenever I'm saying the property, which property? Mass. Mass. So what is the SI system, CGM system? Measurement. See, so this is something which is physics, which we have done in school level also. Ki mass is always measured in kilogram, SI unit, gram, CGS unit, volume it's CC, it's a centimeter cube, length into breadth into height, density is what? Mass upon volume, or you can say temperature, degrees Celsius, Kelvin for the, you can say the, with the Kelvin is what we have learned when we have about gases, it's always measured in Kelvin. Kiva melting point, boiling point, degrees. So we know ki for this physical property, what units we use. So for me, that chart is the most important one. Ki the chart is the SI fundamental units. So measurement of properties. Many properties of matter are quantitative in nature. Quantitative means quantity. When you measure something, you are comparing it with some standard. The standard quantity is reproducible and unchanging. Many properties of matter, such as mass, length, area, pressure, volume, time, are quantitative in nature. Any quantitative measurement is expressed by a number of followed by units in which it is measured. For example, length of a classroom can be represented as 10 meter. Here, 10 is the number and meter denotes the meter, the unit in which the length is measured. Now you will understand की मी हा lesson आधी का नव्हता शिकवला, कारण मला खूप बोर वाटतं असं शिकवायला. ठीक आहे. The standards are chosen arbitrarily with some universally accepted criteria. So what is the definition of unit? The arbitrarily decided and universally accepted standards are called as units. There are several, the units are expressed: CGS, centimeter for length, gram for mass, and second for time, and FPS, foot, pound, second, and MKS. So the MKS la आजकाल SI म्हणतात, which is meter, kilogram, and second. So for me, that is the most important part, which is the fundamental unit. So they have given you first physical property. So मला हे काही करायची गरज नाही आहे. I'm just going to define. Mass का definition क्या है? It is the most fundamental property than the weight. So mass is the total content of the body is called as mass. And what I know about that mass, mass of an individual, let it be a living thing or a non-living thing, mass is a universal constant quantity, which is the total content of the body. It is universal constant. It is in SI system, it is measured in kilogram. In CGS, it is in gram. Now, what W is equal to M into G, which is gram. Mass is a scalar quantity which is independent of direction. Weight is a vector quantity because it requires the direction, because it depends on the gravitational acceleration. So length, what is a length? Length we know, basically length आपण chemistry मध्ये कुठे कुठे विचार करतो. Length in chemistry we come across length while expressing the property. Atomic radius मध्ये length measured होते, bond length measured होते, wavelength of electromagnetic radiations, and these quantities are very small. Therefore the fractional unit used is nanometer, picometer. So for measuring very small units, 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter, and 1 picometer is 10 raised to minus 12 meter. Now, which, सी मायक्रोमीटर मध्ये आपण काय मेजर करतो? सी मायक्रोमीटर मध्ये आपण ऍटम मेजर करतो, मायक्रोमीटर मध्ये आपण बॅक्टेरिया मेजर करतो. नॅनोमीटर इज यूज टू द व्हायरल an atom having only one electron. So they are very minute quantities. Otherwise, the length is measured in meter or centimeter. But for very minute quantity, this is the measurement. Now, volume is the what? The amount that is called as a volume. So for volume is a three-dimensional object, length, breadth, height. So 1 liter for measurement volume of the liquids and gases. Liter, it's which is not an SI unit. So 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cube, or 100 ml, or 100 centimeter cube. So 1 liter is equal to 100 centimeter, 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cube, or 1000 ml, or 1000 centimeter cube. 1000 centimeter is equal to length into height. Okay, so हे मला कळलं. So मी जर ती physical quantities वाला केला, SI units is the international system that we know ki the metric system, which is originated in France in the late 18th century, was more convenient as it's based on a decimal system. Okay, so ठीक आहे. So या second page वरनं पण being a student मला फक्त तो chart करून बघायचा आहे की ज्यामध्ये we are going to learn some basic physical quantity and a symbol used for it. Length, symbol small l. Name of the SI unit, meter, small m. Mass, small m, kilogram, kg. Time, small t, second, S. Electric current, I. Ampere, symbol A. Thermodynamic temperature, Kelvin, I. Thermodynamic capital T, Kelvin, K. Amount of substance, small n. Number of moles, mole. Luminous intensity, which is IV, which is candela CD. What is luminous intensity? It is a quantity of the visible that is emitted per second or per unit light. So that luminous intensity is the quantity of the visible light which is emitted. This. Hello everyone. Am I going little fast?
No, ma'am.
So can you just quickly pen down the units of it quickly? Just yeah, physical quantities से units लेता है. Done? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
झालंय मॅम.
झालंय? So frankly speaking,
Yes,
आपण आतापर्यंत we have just done the matter classification. We have seen little detailing about elements. Then we have seen some physical quantity. What are the matter ka properties? The physical properties, chemical properties we have seen. Then we have seen the units of it, mass, length, volume. Then we have density also. If you turn the page, see volume, then volumetric glass apparatus. So this will you will use this to measure the volume. What are the apparatus which we use in our laboratory? So it is granulated cylinder. So over there they have the digits to explain you the volume of the, you can say, liquid you are taking. You have pipette. Pipette you will use for the neutralization reaction. So basically तुम्ही जेव्हा कॉलेजमध्ये जाल, जेव्हा तुमची प्रॅक्टिकल स्टार्ट होतील, the very first basic experiment in chemistry which you will do in your college laboratory is the neutralization, ज्याला मी titration म्हणते. So in the neutralization reaction, we have a burette. They have given you a 50 ml burette. So त्या burette मध्ये ना, we generally take 50 ml acid, and to that 50 ml acid, then we have a conical flask where with the pipette you take 25 ml of the base, then to acid in the burette with the conical flask having base, then you put a drop of indicator in terms of the phenolphthalein, the color changes to pink, and then you do the titration by using the acid from that burette, and you will see that at a certain volume that will change to the color changes from color pink to colorless. The normality, what is the normality of that acid and base? So all these glass apparatus are generally used for measuring volume, because solid का तो हम लोग density find out कर सकते हैं, but for the liquids, these are the glass apparatus which we are going to use in our college. Second one is the volumetric glass or the conical flask. Understood? After that, the density, basically the density is mass per unit, mass per volume. So kilogram upon the meter cube or the gram upon meter cube. So this is the per unit volume. So after this, so mass करता है. So what exactly we have learned the physical quantities? Mass देखा, weight देखा, volume, and mass, weight, length, volume, density, temperature. See, temperature, hotness or coldness, it is measured in degrees Celsius, degree Fahrenheit or Kelvin. So what are the changes? So basically changes मध्ये changes काय आहेत? So degree Celsius, sorry, this degree Celsius is CGS unit, Kelvin is SI unit, and degree Fahrenheit is used to measure the body temperature. Degree Fahrenheit is used to measure the body temperature. So which is actually 98.5 degree Fahrenheit is equal to roughly 37 degree Celsius. So F minus 32 multiplied by 5 upon 9 is equal to degree Celsius. So this is a conversion factor which you have learned in your school level, and 0 degree Celsius. So what is the changeover for the Celsius? So Kelvin is equal to Celsius plus 273.15. So practically 0 Kelvin is, so in like 273 Kelvin is equal to 0 degree Celsius, and 0 Kelvin is called as absolute zero. It is called as absolute zero because practically no gases will exist. The mass will be zero because they will not remain in this gaseous state. So this is called as absolute zero. When we have learned the gas laws, we have taken in Kelvin, and 0 Kelvin is called as an absolute zero because at that such a low temperature, the gases do not exist. Mass practically becomes zero because that gases either changes into liquids or solids. So these are the terms which we use for the temperature. So they have given you the temperature of the different, you can say, ओके. सो बुक मध्ये मी हे दिलेलं आहे, बुक मध्ये त्यांनी डिग्री फॅरनहाइटचा फॉर्म्युला दिलेला आहे. सो फ्रॉम दिस फॉर्म्युला anything you can convert it from this formula or the formula which is given to you. So total formula कसे मी करू शकते, मला जर डिग्री सेल्सिअस फाइंड आउट करायचं असेल तर F-32 multiplied by 5 upon 9 you can convert the degree Fahrenheit into degree Celsius. जर मला डिग्री फॅरनहाइट फाइंड आउट करायचं असतील तर 9/5 डिग्री सेल्सिअस प्लस 32 1 and the same. Third Kelvin, it will be degree Celsius plus 273. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Kanika?
हो मॅम.
Okay. So हे कळतंय का मी काय सांगते ते? Can you convert it? Easy आहे हा पाठ? Hello? Are you understanding? Ishan?
हो मॅम.
मेहर प्रसाद, कनिका. सो आता हे झाल्यावर सो आपण मॅटर बघितले, टाइप्स ऑफ मॅटर बघितले. वी हॅव सीन द मॅटर, इट्स प्रॉपर्टी, इट्स फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री, इट्स फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज. वी हॅव सीन सर्टन यू कॅन से द फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज विच वी यूज इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्टडिंग मॅटर. त्याचे युनिट्स बघितले. आता the law of chemical combination. Now we don't have this laws for this year, but this is something we have learned in our school level. तिथे आपण स्कूल लेवलला 2 लॉज बघितलेले होते. Law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion. So whenever there is a chemical change takes place, whenever a matter is undergoing chemical property, so there is for the chemical change to form a new substance, every matter should obey certain laws, and that's called as a law of chemical combination. त्यातला पहिला law होता law of conservation of mass. It's too easy to understand that during the course of the chemical change, कुठली पण रिॲक्शन असेल, मग ती डिकम्पोजिशन रिॲक्शन असेल, ती ऍडिशन रिॲक्शन असेल, ती सबस्टिट्यूशन रिॲक्शन असेल, ती डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिॲक्शन असेल, कुठलेही जेव्हा केमिकल रिॲक्शन होते तेव्हा whatever is the mass of the reactant, it has been preserved in the mass of the product. So always, what is the law of conservation of mass? During the chemical change, mass is conserved. There is neither gain nor loss in the mass of the reactant to product, and that is a basic rule why we should balance the chemical equations. आपण balancing का करतो? कारण प्रत्येक chemical change आहे, irrespective of number or state of matter, it obeys the law of conservation of mass, and that is must for balancing the chemical equation. So it's too easy. It's too easy, which has been जो लेवोझियरनी स्टेट केला. सेकंड लॉ आहे लॉ ऑफ डेफिनाइट प्रपोर्शन. या वर्षी त्यांनी हे लॉज कट केलेले आहेत. वी डोंट हॅव दिस फॉर अवर एक्झाम. सो व्हॉट इज लॉ ऑफ कॉन्स्टंट डेफिनाइट प्रपोर्शन? इट इज बीन शोन बाय प्राउस्ट. प्राउस्टचा हा लॉ पण it's very easy. So we have done in school level that in water, 1 two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen to form a compound of water. And if I take this water in terms of the mass, what is atomic mass of hydrogen? 1, oxygen 16. So what is the ratio of the masses of, you can say, they are in 1:8. याचा meaning काय आहे? जर, as I said, it's always the constituent elements are in fixed proportion. That means to form a water molecule, we have to take 1 part of hydrogen and 8 part of oxygen. Then only water is going to form. It's not a bhel. It's not a mixture. So always this should be constant. Either they can be 1:8, 2:16, 3:14, 24, but this ratio should be maintained. If I'm talking about carbon dioxide, carbon 12, oxygen 32, so it is 3:8 if I reduce. So that is the meaning of that. If you want to prepare the carbon dioxide molecule, you have to take 3 parts of carbon and 8 parts of oxygen. Then only carbon dioxide is going to form. If you change this composition, then no way carbon dioxide is going to form. That's why we call compound as a pure substance. And that is the purity of the compound, because even though it consists of more than one element, whatever the constituent elements which are present in that compound are always in the fixed proportion. And that's my second law of constant proportion or law of definite proportion. Are you all understanding these two laws we have learned in school level? Law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion, that we don't have. Even we don't have the third law, that is a law of multiple proportion. Shall I start explaining you the law of multiple proportion? I suppose you are understanding the first two laws. Everyone? समजतंय का सगळ्यांना? Hello?
Oh, ma'am.
Lucky. So if I move on with the third law, that is a law of multiple proportion, I'll just directly go with the statement of the law because it's not there for my syllabus. But if I start explaining from the सुरुवातीपासून केलं की त्याच्या पुढे continuity राहते. So मला law of conservation of mass कळला, law of constant proportion कळला. What is the law of multiple proportion? When two elements A and B form more than one compound, जेव्हा एक दोन लाईक दोन एलिमेंट दोनापेक्षा जास्त कंपाऊंड फॉर्म करतात. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, हायड्रोजन अँड ऑक्सिजन कॅन फॉर्म वॉटर, हायड्रोजन अँड ऑक्सिजन कॅन फॉर्म हायड्रोजन पेरॉक्साइड. सेम इज ऍप्लिकेबल विथ कार्बन अँड ऑक्सिजन. कार्बन आणि ऑक्सिजन एकत्र येऊन कार्बन डायऑक्साईड पण करू शकतात, कार्बन आणि ऑक्सिजन एकत्र येऊन कार्बन मोनॉक्साईड पण करू शकतात. हा लॉ मल्टिपल प्रोपोर्शनचा त्या एलिमेंट्सना आणि त्या कंपाऊंड्सना लागू आहे. वेन two elements A and B form more than one compound, the masses of element B that combines with the mass of A are always in the ratio of small whole number. म्हणजे काय? तर hydrogen oxygen forming water, 2 gram of hydrogen combining with the 16 gram of oxygen to form 18 gram of water. When it is a hydrogen peroxide, 2 gram of hydrogen combines with the 32 grams of oxygen to form 34 gram. So what I want to tell you that whenever the two elements combine together to form more than one compound, whatever the masses of two elements you are taking, they are always in the ratio of whole number. So if I talk about to form water, what is the hydrogen and oxygen ka ratio? 1:8. If I'm talking about hydrogen peroxide as a compound, what is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen? 1:16. So it is an extension. So multiple proportion is the little extension of the definite proportion. So definite proportion मध्ये आपण काय केलं तेच multiple proportion ला applicable आहे. फक्त फरक हा आहे की definite proportion is not applicable for all the compounds. It's applicable to only compound coming from one type of element, and but multiple proportions are the formation of the compound. No doubt that tells that it should have a constant proportion, but by changing the compound from the same element, you can say the ratio also changes, and always that ratio is in whole number ratio. If you talk about nitrogen and oxygen forming nitric oxide, 14 grams, 16 grams forming nitric oxide, which is NO. But if it's nitrogen dioxide, NO2, 14 and 32 forming 46. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Hello? This we also don't have. So we don't have these three laws. Law of conservation of mass, law of constant proportion, the extension of law of constant proportion, law of multiple proportion, we don't have for our syllabus. If you agree, let's move on with the Gay-Lussac's law, which we have already seen in the gas laws. So Gay-Lussac's law of the gaseous volume, it was been explained by Gay-Lussac in 1808. This law states that whenever gases combine or are produced in a chemical reaction, जेव्हा gases combine होतात as a reactant किंवा produced होतात as a product in the chemical reaction, they do so in the simple ratio by volume. So whenever they combine to form, when they are represent as a when they are representing as a reactant or product, they're always combined together in the simple ratio by their volume, because we always consider the volume, we never consider the mass for the gases. आपण काय measure करतो? Number of moles नाही करत, आपण त्याचा volume measure करतो. The volume is the one which has been explained for gases. Mass is the one which is explained for the solid substances generally. So they are in the simple ratio by volume, provided all gases are at the STP. So at STP, standard temperature and pressure, when the gases combine or are produced in the chemical reaction, they always do so in the simple ratio by volume. Same है, फक्त law of definite proportion आहे तसाच आहे, फक्त हा जो Gay-Lussac's law है, it is only applicable to the gaseous substance. For example, look, hydrogen and oxygen forming water, gas. Hydrogen, 2 volume, because when I balance the chemical equation, so what I'd write down, 2H. This is my equation. So for balancing, so what I know that 2 volume of hydrogen combined with 1 volume of oxygen to form 2 volume of water. So always this is a same ratio. आता तुम्ही जर एक हेच हाच आहे. So the ratio is 2:1:2 in the product. Agree? So आता same मला 9:2 plus H2 forming ammonia. हे तीनही, this is a reversible reaction, so मी ही this is NH3. So मला ही जर balance करायची झाली तर ही reaction अशी होते. 1 volume of nitrogen combined with 3 volume of hydrogen to form 2 volume of ammonia. So whenever they are combining, the volume is always in the simple ratio by the volume. समजतंय का? ओमकार, मेहर प्रसाद, वरुण, ईशान, कनिका. Hello everyone.
Oh, ma'am.
Please write down this Gay-Lussac's law statement. झालं का? Hello everyone. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Omkar, Meher Prasad. So can you tell me, एक तो page number 6 पर can you tell say question है? Can you give me the answer of that question? If 10 volume of dihydrogen gas reacts with the 5 volume of dioxygen gas, how many volumes of water vapor would be produced? Yeah, what should be the answer to this question? Hello everyone, quickly. हाँ लेसन खूब इजी है रे, खूब इजी है. कनिका बोलो आंसर. हेलो
Ma'am, 10 volumes.
अरे बोला ना. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट डियर, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. लुक मैंने ऊपर ही लिखा है इसका. जस्ट लुक, मैंने यहाँ पे ही लिखा है. सो अगर ये मेरा 10 वॉल्यूम है, ये 5 है, तो लुक एट दिस, वाटर कितना होगा? 10 वॉल्यूम. क्लियर?
Yes.
सो मैं क्या करूंगी? आई विल जस्ट डू दिस. सो जितना हाइड्रोजन का वॉल्यूम है उतना ही वाटर का वॉल्यूम है. अगर ये 10 है तो ये भी 10 होगा ना. सो गॉट इट? ओके. So let's coming to the Avogadro law. Easy है मोनवी. Are you understanding? Are you comfortable with this pace? Hello everyone. हे समजताय का? मी ह्या पेस मेंटेन करू का? चालेल? हॅलो, समजताय ना हा लेसन? सो या लेट्स प्रोसीड. सो आपल्याला 3 लॉज नाही आहेत. फोर्थ लॉ बघितला, विच इज अ गेलू सॅक्स लॉ. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट अवॅगॅड्रो लॉ. आता अवॅगॅड्रो लॉ आपण दोन्ही लॉज तर आपण गॅस लॉज मध्ये बघितलेले होते. सो व्हॉट इज अवॅगॅड्रो लॉ? Equal volume of all gases at the same temperature and pressure at STP, they contain the equal number of the molecule. Like we know na, equal volume of all gases as STP contains the same number of the molecule, which we call as 1 mole is having 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 number of the molecules. So hydrogen oxygen forming water. So that is a Gay-Lussac's law. 2n molecules of hydrogen combines with 1n molecule of oxygen, forming 2n molecules of water. Simple. Done. We can see that the 2 volume of hydrogen combine, yeah, according to the Avogadro law, if one volume contains n molecule, then 2n molecules of hydrogen combines with the n molecules of oxygen to form 2n molecules of water. Done. So quickly लिहा. मी पुढे डाल्टन्स ॲटॉमिक थेअरी ती पण डिलीटेड आहे. लेट्स वर्क ऑन दॅट. अदर पुढचा पार्ट आपण क्विकली करूया. Done? Hello, everyone.
हो मॅम झालंय.
So इथे आपण एक रिव्ह्यू घेतला. आपण आतापर्यंत मॅटर बघितलं, मॅटरचं क्लासिफिकेशन बघितलं, मग प्युअर सबस्टन्स मधले एलिमेंट्स लर्न केले, मेटल्स, नॉन मेटल्स, मेटलॉइड लर्न केले, कंपाऊंड्स बघितले, मिक्सचर्स बघितले, मिक्सचर्सचे टाइप्स बघितले, homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Then we have discussed about the properties of matter, physical properties, chemical properties bagitla. Then we discussed some physical quantities like mass, weight, length, volume, density, temperature. We have also seen the units of this physical quantity. What is SI unit, CGS unit, all that part we have seen. Then we have seen some laws. Whenever the elements combine together, whenever the matter combine together to form a molecule to undergo a chemical change, they have to obey certain laws. So we have just seen that laws of chemical combination, which is law of conservation of mass, law of constant proportion, law of multiple proportion, where the from that respective element more than one type of compound are forming. Then Gay-Lussac's law, Avogadro law. So these last two laws are applicable to the gaseous mixture. Then we should give attention to the Dalton's atomic theory. Now, if we talk about आपण जे historical events बघितले जे school मध्ये, तर matter, it's something which we can perceive through our senses. So in the before the BC era, before the birth of the Christ, in Maharshi, like who is the first one to explain the concept of classification of matter? Maharshi Kanad. Maharshi Kanadne सांगितले, if you go on dividing or cutting matter, you will get smaller and smaller particle of a matter, and a stage will come when the further division is not possible. To him he called as a Parmanu, which is a Sanskrit word, Anu Renu. Then in the BC era comes Democritus. So he has given that word as atom, because in Greek, atomus means uncuttable, which was given in the BC era. In 1808, Sir John Dalton, in 1808, he has given some postulates of atomic theory. Most of the postulates of Dalton's atomic theory are being ruled out but the important part of this Dalton's postulate is that he has postulated the theory, atomic theory, in the era when there was no electron microscope. Now, because of the electron microscope, we can aram se get to see that smallest particle of the matter. Even we can see what is inside the atom. So right now the things are pretty easy for us. But in that era, we cannot see that atom with the naked eye. And at that era, someone is explaining you something about the smallest particle of atom, which is extremely commendable thing. So always Dalton's atomic theory, which we have done in our school level. So what we have learned in our school level about ha part yavarshi delete kelela ahe. Yavarshi nahi hai, but just to have an idea, what we have learned in Dalton's atomic theory, that every matter is made up of a tiny particles, which we call as atoms. Matter, atoms neither can be created nor can be destroyed, but you can change one form of that matter cannot be created nor it is destroyed, and atoms are the one which take part in the chemical combination. Atoms of one element are alike in all respect, but atoms of different elements are not same. Like हे काही काही डाल्टनचे postulates होते, आता त्यातले काही काही postulates delete झालेले आहेत in the modern atomic theory. Like definitely that postulate is correct, that every matter is made up of a tiny particles called as atom. It's actually correct. The second postulate which has been deleted or overruled is atoms cannot be they cannot be created nor can be destroyed. Destroy म्हणण्यापेक्षा they are not divisible. Now we can still further divide atom into the nucleus of the atom, electrons. So yeah, we can further divide them. Rather, आता structure of atom मध्ये still the research is going on in the God's particle. So आता the protons पण divided आहेत, but still the research is going on. Secondly, अजून एक postulate जो delete केला, तो म्हणजे atoms of one element are alike in all respect. No, it is not true, valid for all the atoms of the element, because there are some isotopes. Isotopes are of the same element having same atomic number, but different atomic mass number. Now, why this thing happens? Because of they have the different number of neutrons. So that Dalton's wala part suda deleted ahe. So atoms are the one which take part in chemical combinations. Not actually the atoms are taking part. It is the electrons, precisely the valence electrons are the one which are taking part in chemical combination, either by transfer of electron, donating, accepting, or sharing. So Dalton's postulate theory is something which is stated in 1808 when there was no electron microscope. But the importance is that whatever the conceptual understanding was put forward by Dalton, it's really appreciable. And from that, whatever the further discoveries were done in the field of chemistry in terms of understanding atom, in terms of understanding molecule, in terms of understanding atomic mass, molecular mass, मोल, हे सगळे जे कन्सेप्ट जे पुढे स्टडी झाले, जे अजूनही आपण ऍज अ स्टँडर्ड वापरतोय, ते सगळे कन्सेप्ट वेर बेस्ड ऑन द डाल्टन्स atomic theory. Okay, so that atomic theory we have studied. So after that, if I come to my page number 7, then there is an atomic and molecular mass. आता मी स्कूल लेवलला पण केलेला आहे. Atomic mass म्हणजे काय? See, every atom is made up of proton, neutrons and electrons. So in an atom, there is a tiny nucleus. So in an atom, there is a tiny nucleus and the electrons are revolving in the circle orbit. So actually every atom is made up of protons, neutrons and electrons. But the mass of the electron is too negligible. It is 1/1860 times the mass of one proton. So whenever we calculate the total atomic mass, we just calculate the mass of proton, one proton plus mass of one neutron. We never calculate the mass of electron because even if you take it, even if you add it or subtract it, it doesn't account for the change in the mass of that atom. So always we have find out that mass of one proton is 1 unit, mass of one neutron is 1 unit. So same way, atomic mass of any atomic mass is always denoted by the letter A. It is nothing but the number of protons plus number of neutrons which are present in that molecule. Agree? This we have something we have done in our school level. Agree with this part? Hello? Do you agree with this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mala, we understood that what is atomic mass. Now, what is the definition of one atomic mass unit? So always initially one atomic mass unit, one unit का मतलब है one mass. आता one mass कोणाचं असतं? हायड्रोजन. But हायड्रोजनचा abundance अर्थ वर खूप कमी आहे. Hydrogen is mainly present in the universe. So whenever we compare the atomic mass of any element, we compare it with the carbon because carbon is the most versatile element. Not only it is present in living thing, but also it is present in non-living thing. So whenever we consider the mass or atomic mass unit, which is a unitary thing, we consider with the mass. So mass of carbon is 12. So always atomic mass is given by the letter A. Z is the atomic number. So for carbon, it is 6 is the Z, which is the atomic number, and 12 is the atomic mass. So what is the definition of atomic mass unit? So I'll just read that atomic mass. Every element has a characteristic atomic mass. Atomic mass is the mass of the atom. It is actually very, very small. For example, the mass of one hydrogen is 1.6736 into 10 raised to minus 24 gram. This is a very small quantity and not easy to measure. In the present system, mass of an atom is determined relative to the mass of carbon-12 atom because carbon has got an isotope, but we are just considering carbon-12 because the mass is 12, 6 protons, 6 neutron. And this has been agreed up to 1961. At the unified atomic mass. Now we have unified atomic mass. Purvi, apan je school mare atomic mass bagitla, we always write the atomic mass in the whole number. Like we write 40 for calcium. But now in this unified atomic mass, always the mass is considered in fraction. Okay. So In this, till 1961, this concept of carbon-12, which is considered as a mass of atom, is derived as a relative to the mass of the carbon-12 as a standard and has been agreed upon 1961. In this system, an atom of carbon-12 is assigned as a mass of exactly 12.00000 atomic mass unit, and all the other elements are given as a relative atomic mass to that of the carbon-12. So what is the definition of atomic masses are always expressed in AMU. One AMU is defined as the mass exactly equal to 1/12 of the mass of one carbon-12 atom. Later, on the exact value of the atomic masses, it is 1 AMU is 1/12. Carbon-12, let me divide killer 12, so that 1 unit is 1 AMU. So 1/12 into the mass of one carbon-12. So 1/12 upon mass of one carbon-12 is 1.992648 into 10⁻⁻3, which is 1.66056 into 10⁻⁻24. Recently, AMU is been replaced by unified mass unit, which is Dalton. U means unified mass. For you, it is only you are being a student, you are just going to understand the definition of AMU. Simple. So AMU is nothing but आता याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी खाली एक न्यूमेरिकल दिलेला आहे प्रॉब्लेम 1.1 mass of one atom of oxygen in gram is this much. What is the atomic mass of oxygen in 1 unit? मला 1 unit माहिती आहे 1 AMU is 1.66056 into 10⁻⁻24, given is 26, so मला 16 mu. So this is unified mass of one atom of, you can say oxygen, it is not hydrogen, it is 16 mu. समजतोय का हा पार्ट? हॅलो, हा इझी आहे म्हणून मी थोडा फास्ट घेते. आय होप यू ऑल आर अंडरस्टँडिंग व्हाट आय एम सेइंग. आर यू अंडरस्टँडिंग दिस पार्ट? मेहर प्रसाद, वरुण, कनिका, ईशान.
Yes, ma'am.
इझी आहे ना हा पार्ट? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? सो आफ्टर दॅट मला atomic mass कळलं. I understand what is AMU. Now average atomic masses. Now average atomic mass is simple है ना? See, average atomic mass चा meaning काय आहे? So let's see. We have seen in like school level ना कि chlorine has got two isotopes, chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. But when we write the atomic mass of chlorine, we write as 35.5. Now, why we write as 35.5? Because chlorine 35 out of 4, it exists in 75%. म्हणजे 3 molecules chlorine 35 चे असतात आणि 1 molecule chlorine 37 चा असतो. So practically we cannot ignore this chlorine 37 ना. अभी हाइड्रोजन हम लोग एक ही क्यों लिखते हैं? Because the deuterium and tritium is in very lesser quantities. So if you don't consider them while writing the masses, it's actually okay. But for chlorine isotope, that 37 isotope exists for 25%. So out of 4 molecules of chlorine, 3 35 चा असतील तर एक 37 चा असेल. So that amount is big. So practically we cannot just simply write the atomic mass as 35. So what we take average 35 into 3 plus 37 into 1 upon 4 is my average, which I write as 35.5. So this is called as average atomic mass. So आपण कसा average percentage काढतो? So this is my average atomic mass. Why? Because many naturally occurring elements exist in more than one isotope form. So they have the isotopes have the different atomic masses. Why they have the different atomic masses? Because they have different number of neutrons. So to calculate it, this is my average atomic mass. So कार्बन तुम्ही बघा आणि कार्बनचं एक तुम्हाला त्याचे दिलेलं आहे. कार्बन 12 चा atomic mass आहे 12. Relative abundance is 98.892. Carbon 13, 13.0335, 1.18, and carbon 14 is 2 into 10⁻⁻10. So how we calculate it? We calculate it just we take the percentage, and then it comes as 12.011. So when we write down the average atomic mass of carbon, we never write 12, we write 12.011 mu, because when we write like this, we are taken in consideration of the isotopes 13, we have taken in consideration of the isotope 14. Are you understanding this part? Hello, everyone. Clear with this concept? Hello. So basically in the periodic table, they have given you, remember, in the periodic table of the element, the atomic masses mentioned for different elements are actually their average atomic masses. But for practical purposes, the average atomic masses is rounded off to the nearest whole number when it differs by only a very small fraction. So whenever we take carbon, average atomic mass is 12.011 U, we just round off to write at 12.0. Nitrogen, 79.9094. So we take average mass as 14. Hey, 1. हे काय आहे 14 हे 13 असेल त्यांनी चुकीचं दिलेलं आहे. So oxygen 15.99 we take as 16, chlorine 35.45 we take as 35.5, bromine 79.90 we take as 79.9. Agree? So we now, from the Dalton's atomic theory, we understand the concept of atomic masses, which masses we are considered to calculate the total atomic mass, then what is average atomic mass. So after that, the molecular mass. Now the molecular mass is the sum of the atomic masses. I don't think so I should explain to my college going students to how to calculate the molecular mass. The molecular mass is the sum of the atomic masses. Agree? So then a problem 1.2 दिलेला आहे. Calculate the average atomic mass of neon from the following data. Neon atomic mass 20, neon 20, 19.9924, neon 21, 20.9940, and neon 22, 21.9914. So natural abundance baga. So what I'm doing, actually, I'm just calculating the atomic mass into the percentage, upon 100. So if you do that atomic mass into percentage, atomic mass of neon 20 into percentage, atomic mass of neon 21 into percentage, atomic mass of neon 22 into percentage, upon 100, you will get the average atomic mass. So it's too easy to understand. Molecular mass the खूप easy understand करायला. If the atomic, if you know the atomic masses, to calculate the atomic molecular mass is too easy. तुमच्या बुक मध्ये प्रॉब्लेम 0.1.3, 0.1.4 दिलेलो आहे. Is it easy? It is easy to calculate. Hello? Hello? मी फक्त एक देऊ प्रॅक्टिसला तुम्हाला. Can you show me? Calculate molecular mass of aluminium phosphate. आणि हे मला molecular mass calculate करायचं आहे. Calculate the molecular mass of aluminium phosphate. I'll give you the sum of the atomic masses. आणि second है blue vitriol. निकालो इसका. Aluminium 27, phosphorus 31, hydrogen 1, oxygen 16. Copper is nothing but copper का कितना है? Copper is 63. Sulfur is 32. निकालो. काढाल का? Hello.
मला ब्लू विट्रियलचा फॉर्म्युला नाही माहिती.
Blue vitriol is copper sulfate dot 5H2O, water of crystallization.
ओके मॅम. I'm just checking. Aluminum phosphate Al2PO4 थाईस आहे ना? अल्युमिनियम फॉस्फेटचा फॉर्म्युला, मॉलिक्युलर फॉर्म्युला Al2PO4 थाईस आहे ना? Al2PO4 थाईस.
कसा फॉस्फेटचा काय फॉर्म्युला आहे? 3 मायनस ऍल्युमिनियमचा काय फॉर्म्युला?
3 minus
3 प्लस.
plus हा सो क्या अल्युमिनियम. ओके ओके
गॉट इट?
हो.
ओके.
मॅम पाठवलं.
बरोबर आहे. पहिलं बरोबर आहे. ईशान
काय मॅम?
सेकंड रॉंग आहे बाळा. डॉट एक सांगू इथे मला, या डॉटचा जरी मॅथ्स मध्ये अर्थ मल्टिप्लिकेशन असला तरी इथे अर्थ असा आहे, यू टू
ओके मॅम तेच वाटलं ना एवढं कसं मोठं होईल 3.712 असं काय एवढं कसं येईल तेच कळलं नाही मला.
कळलं का? आणि हे आपण 9th ला केलेलं आहे ईशान.
हो केलंय पण मला ते डॉटचं आठवण नव्हतं.
सर आय अंडरस्टँड डॉट द मीनिंग इन मॅथ्स इज मल्टिप्लिकेबल, पण इथे मी मुद्दामून का दिले, इथे ऍडिशन करायची.
हा ठीक आहे मग काय मग येईल.
आणि ईशान 16 4 चा किती रे?
ओ सॉरी 64. मी वरती लिहिले खालती विसरलो.
तेच ईशान. What about others? Hello, Kanika, Meher Prasad. Hello. Hello. Answer भेजो.
मॅम आणि दुसऱ्याचं 185 आलं ना.
Yes. Correct. Very good. पहिला कनिका करेक्ट आहे. दुसऱ्याचं बघ ना, कॉपर सल्फेटचं किती आलं? It is 63. Yeah, 249 is correct. Kanika, it's right. Absolutely right. Very good. Yes, yes. 249 and 122. Hello, Meher Prasad. Hello. 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 So मैं आगे लूं या रुकूं अभी? बोर हो गए. मतलब मोल
मॅम दुसऱ्याचं काय?
249.
ओके, एक मिनिट.
मैं आगे लूं. मोल कंसेप्ट तो हमने पहले ही किया था यार. इट्स टू इजी. बट बाकी है किधर सब लोग? हेलो. सो मैं एक काम करते. I'll do one thing. You try to finish off this mole concept at 3. So सगळे जण असताना या संडेला मी 8 o'clock ला क्लास घेणार आहे. Is it okay with you all?
हो मॅम.
कनिका,
Yes, ma'am.
मेहर प्रसाद. So या संडेला 8 o'clock ला क्लास आहे. But actually the part which is remaining, na, to honest with you, this is something we have done it. So actually it is based on mole. Formula of the mole is like that. The number of moles is equal to mass in grams upon molar mass, and 1 mole is equal to 6.022 into 1023. So यावर बेस्ट न्यूमरिकल्स आहेत. So try to finish off. Try to finish off. जितना हो सके उतना करो. नहीं तो मैं हूँ ही संडे को I'll explain you. But आता कोणीच नाही येत ना, तर मला actually आज मोल कन्सेप्ट करायचं होतं. But I think more than 50% of the students are not attending the class. So better I'll stop over here. But for you people, I think we have already done it in 9th standard. Am I right?
हो मॅम. हो मॅम.
Already केलेलं आहे आपण मोल कन्सेप्ट न्यूमरिकल. So at least try to finish off entire book back exercise. और न्यूमरिकल्स देखो. आपण उरलेली सगळे न्यूमरिकल्स आपण जे नाही येणार ती मी सगळी एक्सप्लेन करणार आहे संडेला. सो संडे को वी आर गोइंग टू कंप्लीट ऑफ दिस लेसन. करेक्ट ईशान?
ओके मॅम.
तो तुला लवकर जातो तू संडेला, तर तू थोडेसे सी टू इट दॅट यू विल फिनिश ऑफ ऑल द न्यूमरिकल्स. आणि जी येणार नाही ती प्रॅक्टिकली मला आधी घ्यायला सांग. कळलं का?
हो मॅम. हो मॅम. मी आज संध्याकाळी येऊ का 6:30 नंतर?
हो ये नो प्रॉब्लेम.
मेसेज
Okay,
टाकतो
so-
निघायच्या आधी.
Yeah, fine. So I'll end today's session. Is it okay with you, Meher Prasad, Kanika? Try to finish off the numerical so that the lesson is too easy, the lesson gets over. Agree?
हो मॅम.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Chalo then bye. I'll end today's session. Bye bye. Good day.